guys know, we have to learn about where the pottery came from before we just create the pottery. So the pottery we're creating, it comes from West Africa. Where's West Africa, you guys? We learned about this. It's the westernmost part of Africa. North, south, east, west. It's the western part. So it is 16 different countries, you guys. 16. So I'm going to name the countries. Those countries are Benin, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, the Ivory Coast, Liberia, Mali, Mauritania, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone, and Togo, as well as the United Kingdom overseas territory of St. Helena. You guys may not know that part. Ooh, and a fun fact, you guys. There are estimated, as of 2018, 381 million people in West Africa. So pottery plays a big part in daily life in West Africa. You see it everywhere, you guys. It has many uses. It's necessary for daily life to carry seeds, rock, water, food, whatever it is they need to be held, stored, or carried. They needed pottery. Pottery was necessary, okay? So, for example, women would use pottery to carry water from long distances, and to bring it back, they would have to carry it on their heads to bring it back. Very heavy job, but a very normal job. Pottery was a woman's job. All right. It was the very bottom of all the jobs. So you can be a blacksmith, you can be a farmer, and at the very bottom of all those groups of jobs is pottery making. And that's where women stand. But that's the way it was back then. Women made the pottery, and that's just how it happened. And there was methods to making the pottery. It wasn't just going to the store and buying clay and making the pottery. There was a whole entire method from rock to clay. The methods to making clay are very ancient. Women and children would travel to any area where they knew there would be good rocks to dig up, even if they had to walk miles. They would dig those rocks up. As heavy as they are, they would dig those rocks up with whatever tools that they created, and they carry a basket of those rocks. Now, some of these tunnels that they would be digging these rocks out of could possibly collapse and have collapsed on children and women, right? Trying to find the right rock. You can't just use any rock. You have to find the right rock. So they dig those up, okay, and they carry them back in baskets on their heads, very heavy. All right. Sometimes it takes miles to get back to their village, but this is what they had to do, And then after that, most important part, they get to the rocks, to the section where they're going to break those rocks down. And they take those rocks and they break them down, and they pound them until it turns into a rockety-ish like powder. Just keep pounding. Okay. It's kind of like, if you get a baseball bat and you take one of those rocks, you're looking for gold, and you smash it and just pound down. Okay, so after the rocks are broken down, they would I don't know if you guys know what panning for gold is. Like where you scoop up on that plate and then you shake it around and you pan for the gold. All right, that's what's going to happen here. They're taking that soil that dirt that we pounded down, they're putting it in one of those sifters, and they're going to shake it until the big, huge pieces of rock that are left over are gone. Then they just scoop another bucket, and then they shake it up, hey, and shake, and after that, all those big pieces are out. They go ahead and they take that again, so it's like a double grinding. They take that soil and they grind it against a stone platform to try to create that perfect texture. And after that, they take all that powder and throw it in a pile, add some water to it, and then they start to step in. They use their feet to step on the water and soil mixture because it creates more pressure. You're able to really get it in. Just step, walk, walk, step, 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 walk, step. And then you would add more, go ahead and add more soil, add more water, step, 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 add more soil, add more. It's kind of like if you were making bread. So they would do this mending and adding. See, she's adding more soil and, trying to make it to where that texture is one that could be molded and that could be fired. Okay, so right here we have a woman, a traditional in traditional dress, and she is prepping this soil to get turned into some great clay. The next step is to take that mixture, which is now really, really thick, and just kind of fold it like you're folding bread dough. Just kind of fold it, pick it up, slap it down, fold it, pick it up, slap it down, fold it. Try to create that mending effect, right? Then after that, we're going to pound it down again. We're going to take that because it's still kind of grainy. It's still kind of grainy. So we're going to take that and we're going to add it to this bowl. Okay, you can add it. Well, what they're using is, it looks like a tree trunk that's cut in half, and they're using this and they're pounding it down again. They're pounding that soil down to create a nice, thick, moldable situation here. And then they're using different tools and shapes to shape the pottery. All the potteries is shaped in different, different types of shapes. This one right here is going to be a round bowl, a round pot, right? And sometimes the pots come up high and they might have a thin neck. Those are usually for holding water so the water doesn't spill. But a pot like this that she's making would more likely be used to hold things like seeds or to store things. So yeah, West African pottery. Let's make some of our own. Hey everybody. Hey Akira. Akira, it's your day, girl. I got your request. We are going to make. I love working with clay too. You love working with clay. All y'all love working with clay. But today we're gonna make a clay bowl. Normally we make clay pots. We're gonna make a clay bowl because bowls and pottery was really important to especially the West African culture. They carried water and they had to walk long miles just to get water at points. So they needed to be able to create a way to carry it. So they would make clay starting from the rocks that they dig in the ground, pull them out, get the rocks, smash them down, put that water in there, keep mixing, put that soil, keep mixing, to make clay, just to have clay, and we come and we just buy some clay. So we are going to let's pretend that we made our clay from scratch now that we know the history of how clay is made, right? West African pottery. We are going to make a bowl. All right, first things first, the supplies you're going to need. Clay. Gonna need some clay. I have this kind of clay. You might have whatever other kind of clay. You can use any other kind of clay. But the whole thing about it is, if you plan on baking your bowl to make it hard, then you can't use Play-Doh or something like that. You must be using clay. You can't even use the clay that I have you make, right? So we want it to be clay that can get hard. Now, clay. I have a little bit of water here to help smooth out the clay while I'm trying to create it to make smooth. And then I have a package of tools here. And I just want to show you guys these. These are my sculpting tools here. And they're different. They all look different if you look at them. Can you see these up close? So each one of these tools is a different size and it does a different thing. Like this one, look at that. And like this one looks like it's diagonal, and it just gives me different ways to be able to carve indentions and shapes. I even have one that looks like, it looks like an eyelash. Oh my goodness, where's the eyeball? But it creates a texture. Look at this texture. Watch this. Look at the foil. Look at the foil, cameraman. Watch this. Watch when I scrape this. You see how it looks like a scratch? Oh yeah, that's good for making hair. All right. Now, because you guys probably don't have this, some of you may, I created some alternate tools that you can use. I walked around the house and I found things. I got this stick. I got this thicker popsicle stick because the thicker popsicle stick is going to do something different than the thinner one. Then I have this color pencil and I'm using this for the sharp part. I want to use the sharp part to like carve designs. And you can even use the round part to like make holes. These are just ideas for designing your pot. I found this awl, and this is just like a pin. It's the way to poke holes in things. I don't know where it came from, but I'm using it. I got a regular popsicle stick. That might help me smooth stuff out. And I got my tool that I made because I am a craftsman. Okay, so I'm gonna use these tools. So you need tools, you need clay, and you need water. That's it. So I'll meet you once I get this clay going. Grab a ball of clay. Get a ball of clay. I'm gonna come back with my ball of clay. Ball of clay. All right, you guys, I have my clay ball. But first things first, we want to make a bowl. We have to turn this clay ball into a smooth looking tennis ball or golf ball or whatever size. This is going to look like more like a softball. So I'm trying to, if you can see me closely, I'm trying to make this into my ball. It's so big. I wanted to make a big bowl, you guys. First of all, because I like to eat a lot of cereal. Now I won't have to use 2 bowls. I can just use my big bowl. And second of all, because I don't know, I'm just into things looking big because I get to see them. See how I'm going over and over. I'm like, I don't know, that looks like a. No, it's smashed. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. And this is what I want you to do too. Just keep looking at it until it's smooth you want. Because the smoother, the more equal your pot. Like, take your time. Take your time. Pat it, love it. Put that energy into it. You're gonna make the best. Oh, I messed up. Best bowl ever. Okay. Now I have I'm still unsatisfied with my ball. But now I have a ball. Look what it turned out to be. Look at my ball. Okay, so now I got my ball. Now, here's the trick. The bowl has a hole in it. So we have to put a hole in the middle of this ball. A hole. Here I go. I'm going to use my finger. You know what I mean? Because my ball is big, I'm going to use my knuckle. So here I go. Deep down in the forest. Deep down. I'm going down. I don't want to go too down because I don't want to hit the floor of. Now I have this. Get out of there. Now I have what looks like this. Yes, it looks like a donut. We're not making donuts. Okay, so I'm going to take my 2 fingers and my thumb. 2 fingers and my thumb. I'm going to put the 2 fingers in like this. And I'm going to take my thumbs. I wish you could see this. I'm going to take my thumbs. And they're going to be like that. Can you see that? I'm trying my best. Can you see it? You got to be like this. That's why. You got to have your thumbs like this. And you're going to press, turn, press. Now let me get back to what it was. Here I go. Now I'm putting some pressure down into the hole, but not too much. Not too much. Okay, here we go. Press, turn, press, turn, press. Especially if you don't have like one of those spinning things, and it's spinning around for you. Because I'm not making a cup, I'm making a bowl. I want to make it wide. I want to keep pinching it. Pinch. Cool. You don't want it to get too thin on the sides. If you make it too thin on the sides, watch what happen. Look, it'll start cracking open and stuff. You don't want that. Okay, unless you want to make that your design. Press, turn, press. Look, and I'm pressing and I'm turning. Pressing and I'm turning. Pressing and I'm turning. Pressing and I'm turning. My goal is to make a bowl. I made that up. Goal bowl. It rhymes. I'm smoothing. Look what I'm doing. I'm smoothing out the inside of my bowl. I want it to be a nice cereal bowl after I bake it. And I'm going to tell you guys how to bake it. I could tell you now, and then we'll tell you again later. So when you want to bake it, you got to let this sit, let it dry completely. It has to be totally dry. And then you put it in your oven on the middle rack at about 225 bake. You cannot make it too hot. And then bake it for about, I don't know, a couple of hours, or just until it gets really hard. And then after that, you let it sit for about 3 hours and just settle. And then you can like paint it, or you could just leave it. So I'm pinching my bowl. I want my bowl sides to be bigger. So if I want my bowl size to be bigger, I'm gonna pinch upwards. See, I'm pinching upwards. See how this looks up and this looks down? You see that? Let me pinch upwards over here. Pinching upwards. And this is a bowl, so I want to open this up. I want to open it up. And I might even make some cool design there. I'm going to pinch upwards, and I'm going to open that up. It's already kind of making a flourish design, but I don't want to be too... Akira, you're an amazing artist, so you already know the deal. I've watched you do your art. Okay, so here we go. I'm pinching upwards, and I want to peel outwards. I want this to be even, but I actually might pinch this and make my bowl. Look how I'm creating a texture by pinching this, because I want my bowl to have pinchies on the top. I don't know, just made me feel more bowlish. More bowlish. That's cool when you use that in regular life. Bowlish. There's my bowl. I want to smooth this out even better. Okay. Now let's see. Can I eat my cereal? I can even make this bottom. I can use some of this clay. This bottom is too thick. So look what I'm doing. My bottom is too much clay at this bottom. So I want to rub some. I want to use some to make my bowl even more luxurious. Yes, so what you have to understand is it's clay, you guys. Play with it, maneuver it until it's exactly what you want it to be. I want my bowl to be smooth in the middle, and I want it to be a pretty big bowl. So I'm just turning it and spinning it. Turning it and spinning it. I want my sides to be the same size. So I'm going to use a tool called scissors after I put these up, or stack this up, because I want to make all my sides the same size. This is an experiment. I never actually did this with the scissors situation, but I just figure if I do it, I bet you I can make all these sides even. And then I'll use my tools to create my pattern. So right now my goal is to get these sides as high as possible. Can you see what I'm doing, cameraman? Can you come inside? Come inside this bowl and see how I'm pinching upwards. Let me turn this around so you can see this side. Wow, this bowl is really getting high. Yep. Pinching upwards. Yes. And so you guys remember how the West Africans, when they were making their pottery, they also used that water to smooth things out. So look at me. Get a little bit of water. Ooh, look what it does to the clay. Look at that smoothiness. So I'm gonna smooth this out. The better you smooth it out is awesome. I'm gonna keep smoothing this out, and I'll be back to try to cut the top of this, okay? So you guys get it. Use the water to smooth it out. Once you're done, smooth it, smooth it. All right. Okay, I wanna teach you guys a technique. I wanna make my bowl come inwards, right? Before I cut off the top, I wanna make it come inwards. I wanna make it look like it's going not like this, like I originally thought. You know, as my imagination grows making it, I want it to come in. You know, because I never see bowls come in. So there's like a big pocket where it can hold like the milk. So, but I want to make this come in. So what I'm doing is I'm taking two pieces. Look up close, cameraman. I'm taking two pieces on the edge, and I'm bending them, and I'm just flipping them over. You see that? Just flipping it over. Turn, two pieces, twist, flip. And then now I've got this appearance moccasins everybody's wearing. You know, those tan moccasins. The stitching around the bottom. Kind of looks like that. I'm going to take my scissors. I don't know if the scissors whole situation is going to work. I've never done it. But let's just try. Nothing wrong with experimenting. Let me get a pair. I don't have scissors inside your supply list. I just have these scissors to use as a tool. So, but you may want scissors. This is so strange that I'm doing that. Use your imagination, you guys. Start doing like awesome. Cutting clay with scissors. Now I'm going to use my tools before I bake this. I want to do some decoration. Akira, you are one of the best. Really taking your time and doing art, so props to you. Props to you. Okay, so let's see. I like it.
No, not art, no.
Looks like a
No, not art, no.
make sure there's no hole in it, so that when it bakes, I can actually hold.
Yeah. No, not art, no.
Whoa,
No, not art, no. No, not art, no. 나의 맘은 사라졌어.
maybe I should put wax here.
No, not art, no.
Upside down, upside
No,
down.
not art,
Got it.
no.
Oh!
No, not art, no. 나의 맘은 사라졌어.
Okay, so here we go.
내게 제일 좋아하는 요리 항상 나의 돈이지. 너는 별이여 길을 가지고 있어. 너가 나에게 무엇을 의미한다고 본다니. 너는 한다는 어디에 불과하다고 나는 누가 되리 사는지.
So, I also want to show you guys, everybody's spots look different. I also want to show you guys how to use your tools. These are the, you know, professional tools. But we're going to use our tools that we found around the house instead. And I'm going to first start off by making a pattern. I want to make a pattern out of
눈을
the
따뜻해 뜰 거야. 기려벼 해라 거야 들어버려라. 그리고는 얼음물을 벼하고 말 거야 한 번도 나는 뭐래 하고 싶지 않았어. 하지만 이따라 그건 내가 아니다. 너야 나는 응 하고 놀아 놓겠지. 하지만 너희 노래를 다시 듣고 싶어 하고야. 그리고 나 그와 함께 놀아주겠지. 그리고 너 벼야 그을 보겠지. 나는 웃게 누이겠지.
I definitely am going to add
너는
more
아직 나
creative
너는
at the
아직
top.
나 나의 맘을 사라져
I went all the way around with my dotted pattern. Can you see the dotted pattern? Like, can you see it though? Like this, like you can see it? Okay. I'm gonna take this shark thing that I found. You can use a paper clip. And I'm going to make lines. I just go. Where did you start at? I just go and I kind of figured out a cool way to do this, you guys. Just turn the thing. Turn the thing. Guess where I got this from, you guys? I got this from the eggs. This white styrofoam that I'm using. I got this from the eggs. You remember styrofoam floats. Okay, it's something that floats on water. Remember that. Okay, so I want to add like what looks like feathers. I'm gonna do this side, you can't really see it, but I'm gonna turn it around, you guys. But I'm just going to put a little, not over my dots, a little cool pattern with this popsicle stick along here. I'm putting more clay up there. Okay. The pattern is gonna go all the way around. So you get what I mean about patterns. I'm not gonna do my whole pattern in front of you guys because I want you guys to try to do the same pattern that I'm doing. Do your own pattern. So I'm gonna be back after I finish my pattern. Okay, so I changed my pot. My pot started to fall apart. So I just balled my clay back up and I started over. And a lot of you guys are gonna do this. You guys, actually all of you are gonna do this, right? Second time's the charm. So I wanted to also make it a little bit thicker so that it felt a little bit heavier, like it wasn't gonna just fall apart when I bake it. So let me tell you the tools I use to create my design. I'm gonna use this as a pointer. Right here, these lines, I use my little sharp thing. I use a colored pencil tip to put my holes. I use a popsicle stick and pressed the bottom to create a pattern. And I also use the side of a popsicle stick, you guys, to create grooves at the top. Can you see the top grooves, cameraman? See these top grooves right here? I use this. Now, after thinking long and hard about my beautiful vase that I love now, second try, I'm so happy, feel so happy. Now I'm gonna make a top. I don't know why, but what if I don't want to use it as a bowl? What if I want to use it to hold my keys that I keep losing? You okay, cameraman? Okay, here we go. Balling is up. This time I'm gonna make it flat so it sits on top of here. Once you get it flat enough, pick it up. I'm gonna measure it. Now I know that I just need to go a little bit wider. Not too much wider, just a little bit. Let's see, does that fit? Oh, a little bit wider, just a smidge. See how I keep measuring it on top of here? Because I kind of want it to fit perfectly, but this is art, so you might want yours to like fall over like a mushroom or something. Got that. Yay. So now that I have this, I'm gonna use a little bit of water. I'm gonna smooth this out. I want my top to be nice and smooth. I'm making a mess and I don't care. Okay, so make sure you put down some newspaper. Should have told you that in the beginning. But if it starts to get messy, I'm sure your families would already know about that. Okay, so I have my top. How am I gonna pick up my top? First of all, actually, I want my top to match the grooves here. So I'm just gonna go and put grooves here so it matches the top of my bowl here. I'm all about matching. It's just me like that. Akira, you're all about matching too. You be having some cute little outfits. Here we go. Now, and hi mom. Hi Kira's mom. Here we go. I need a little bit more clay to make a handle and we are finito, and I'm gonna bake this. And I'm going to, hopefully it doesn't fall apart. Hopefully it does what it's supposed to do. And if it does, I'll be back. If it doesn't, you guys know what to do. You can paint this with acrylic paint. You cannot paint this with tempera paint because you'll be able to see the clay right through it. You want to use, can you see me? You want to use acrylic paint to paint over this, whether you're baking it or not. And you can paint acrylic before you burn it in the oven or after. Now, you have to understand that when you bake clay in the oven, it is not going to look glossy and shiny. It's just going to get hard. And that's fine. That's beautiful. That's more like pottery, right? So we want that, it's going to be that effect. But you can still paint it and stuff. So in order to make my handle, I'm just rolling a piece of clay like this, which is way too big. I'm going to roll. I want a big handle so that I really never drop this. Like when I pick up the handle, it's like, and I'm going to, hot, you're done, out the way. And I'm going to just put my handle as far apart as I want. Well, actually very far apart so that I can press down the sides. And now the sides are there. You can't just leave it like this because it's just gonna fall apart. You have to smooth. Look at how I smooth. Make the end of those handles become part of the top. You see how I did that? There's no way that's falling off now because I made that a part of the top. And you can use your tools to do this, but I'm more of a finger person. You know, I like using my fingers. Y'all are finger people too. I know y'all like to use your fingers. Fingers are always best. You can manipulate them really well. And since we're going on with the slats, I'm gonna make a design here. I don't want to cut it too much. Make a design on the top. And where's my popsicle stick? Since we're in this whole slate business here. Put some slices, slicing bread. Here we go. Let's see if my top fits. When you bake this, if you bake this, do not bake it with the top on it. Go ahead and put it on some wax paper and then bake them separate. Let's see. Whoa. What would I be able to throw on this? I don't know. Let's see. Let me find something small. You'd be like, oh, I'm like, I can't find my toys. I can't find my keys. I can't find my toys. I can't find. I was just giving you an example of you could put stuff in here and not lose it. Or you can make it a little basket to collect fruits and raspberries. Okay, there's my bowl. I'm gonna bake it separately on 225 degrees. Watch it. Once it gets hard, take it out. Let it sit for 3 hours. Then you can paint it or do whatever or leave it. Now remember, you cannot put it in the oven until it's air dry already. It has to be dry already, you guys. Then you put it completely dry to bake. Don't put it in the oven wet to bake, okay? So let it dry and then you're just baking it, making it super, super hard. All right, and if my bake works out, I'm going to let you see mine, but if not, I had fun. Love you, Akira. I love all y'all. I miss you guys, and keep letting me know what y'all want to do because I'm here for y'all and I want to do what y'all are excited about. Okay, all right, so one day later, I let my clay dry all the way, and then look up close. I put it in the oven for it to bake. It's hard. See this? Hard as a rock. Now I have it. It's not glossy because it wasn't burned at a hot enough heat. All right, now, you see me? We are about to paint. So all I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna choose my base color. Because when you're painting something like this, unless you want it to look like this, if you want to do designs, you gotta just paint the whole thing one color. Let it dry, and then you're gonna layer the designs on top. So I want my base color to be tan, just because pottery, to me, is tan, brown. And also just because I like this color. I am quite biased with this color when I am, I got paint. I'm gonna put the paint right here. And then it's closer. Don't be afraid to get the paint on your fingers. I am using a paint called acrylic paint. This is the paint you want to use. You don't want to use a paint called tempera paint. First of all, tempera sounds like temper. Like if you have a temper tantrum. Yeah, no, we don't want that. We want the acrylic paint, right? The acrylic paint starts with an A. You could get it. You could just order it off Amazon because you can't go get it nowhere because you're supposed to be staying in the house. Okay, here we go. I am painting the whole thing. I'm not doing a thick layer because I really want it to dry quickly. I want it to dry so I can do my design on top of it. Do you see that? Is there enough light there, cameraman? Yeah. Do we need? There we go. Much better. I have to put some better light on there, you guys. Oh, you know what? I will be right back. Give me a quick second. Okay, so yeah. Hi. We had to turn on the light. I forgot to turn on the light. I was like, why is it so dark? I'm sitting here. Oh, you don't have to paint the bottom. I am, just because. Make sure you have something nice down there on the bottom here, because when you sit that back down. So I'm just looking to make sure all my dots are dotted. I'm gonna paint the inside too. See, I'm just kind of stirring it like a pot. See up here? Can you get from the top so you can see what I'm doing? I'm getting all the sides. Getting all that, all them cracks. Okay. Bam. Sit that to dry. Now, I want to paint the top. see this texture I put on my top? Look at this texture. I used like a scrapey thing before I baked it when it was still wet, and I made that cool scrapey texture. So I hope you guys made textures, because that was part of it. You were supposed to make some type of design, right? That design, that's your texture, right? Because it makes it more than just flat. It's all nice and shaped up. Like you're really doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're almost to the finish line. Ah! Oh, I need some people on the sideline cheering for me right now. But I know that you guys are at home. I'm cheering for you guys, by the way. I'm cheering for you to get this done, to do this. I'm doing the bottom just in case I want to make this for my keys. When I pick it up, I want it to still look, I want it to look uniform. This would be a really cool gift to you guys. Mother's Day is coming up. Yeah, Mother's Day is coming up. Father's Day is coming up too. Mother's Day is coming up. Ha ha. Okay, so let's let that dry. It's drying pretty quick already. Now, I'm not going to do my whole design in front of you because I don't want you to make the same design as me. But I'm going to use smaller paintbrushes. See these smaller paintbrushes? I got paint on me. Oh no. Oh no. Whatever. Okay, so you're going to use the smaller paintbrushes to create this design here. So I want to make some red dots. Right where I had that red. Right where I put those dots, I'm going to make it red. I'm just going to do this one side so you can see. But I start getting addicted to like just finishing it already. Look, a piece of my clay kind of chipped off while it was baking. See that? I'm just gonna put a dot there. Whatever. Then I've got some of this tan paint is still in here, so it's creating this blend that I don't want. I want it to be a rich red. So see, just pretend those dot things didn't happen. And then I'm going to do one more design, and I'm going to leave you guys to creating your design. I'm going to use some, not green, because that's Christmas colors. I don't want to do Christmas colors, because then it'll look all holiday. Then I can only put it out when it's a holiday. Let's use white. And I'm going to just put white swipes. White. I don't want anything, it doesn't have to be fancy. I just want white in between there. It kind of looks like a candy cane somehow still. And see, these type of pots, let's say for example in West Africa, if we were making this pottery, like pots with designs like this are more, they're decorative, they're gifts, things like that. Or they're native to a tribe and used in like ceremonial, for ceremonial purposes because of their beautiful designs, which all probably have some type of amazing meaning. I can't say it. When I was young, I couldn't say refrigerator. I can say it now, refrigerator. I can say it 3 times wrong, refrigerator. I keep trying this. Anyhow, there's that. I probably would make my top. I don't know why. I just want to make this white. Just add some type of, I'm really, really digging in here. And you guys, I hope, are taking much longer than me and getting really creative on your design. Akira, what an awesome idea. Yes, and yes. You've got me really, really excited about this pot. I'm going to use it. This, I'm going to use put my keys in. I'm always losing my keys. And now that I baked it, and I know it's not going to fall apart on me, I could be a little rough with it when I take the top off. Yay. love it. Throw my keys in. Let me throw my keys in there. Akira, I miss you. And here you go. And everybody, come on, get your clay pot on. It's pretty cool. See you next time.